Welcome to Dealing with the Issues. My name is Heather.
I'm Nykia.
And we're going to discuss weather issues.
Weather issues.
Very important thing, because I don't know about anyone else, but there are a lot of weather anomalies going on across the United States and maybe even the world for that matter.
Yeah.
Texas is flooded.
Dallas had flooding unlike we've never seen. Denver, Colorado has had some crazy weather that we don't usually see ever. And Delaware has had possible tornado threats. Delaware. Yes.
What?
Yes.
I remember when I lived in the Midwest and it would say tornado watch at the bottom of my screen. When I lived in New Jersey, that didn't happen. So you say in Delaware, that's right there. So they got a little funnel on the bottom of the screen, tornado watch. If I saw that over there, it's the end of days. Grab your book of Revelation.
Oh.
We're doomed. Doomed, I tell you.
Well, this is, I think with climate change, it has a lot to do with the way that we treat our environment.
Absolutely.
I was just discussing with Heather that there's something called fracking. And fracking is a way to get oil deposits out of the ground. I don't know if you know this, but we currently, from what I understand, from what I read, we have outproduced Saudi Arabia.
In oil.
In oil.
Wow. And this is based on reserves or based on oil that's been found that hasn't been mined yet? Wow.
This is...
Ooh, that's how we do it, huh? We go ahead, take all their stuff, leave, and say, you know what, we'll use our own.
That's the American dream. We really be hustling. We
hustled up out of their oil, and then it was like, you know what, you can't have no more. It's like, it's okay.
We got our own. We got our own.
We don't need your oil.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
In places where this oil has been, is it oil mined?
Yeah, I would say you're mining it.
Okay,
right?
so let's say oil mining.
Right, yeah.
What ends up happening is...
What you're saying they're calling fracking.
Right.
They're fracking.
So...
The process.
That sounds like something nasty.
I don't know.
Come here, let me frack you. Let me frack you, girl. Let me frack you. Come here, boy, let me get some fracking.
Can we get the oil?
Okay. So in the same, when they're fracking, it produces a lot of pollution.
Right.
Now, the 1% has oil as a $1 billion company. It's a $1 billion industry.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what goes on with fracking is in so many ways to them a minute part as compared to the money that comes from it. Anyway, I believe, this is my hypothesis, in the places that fracking is going on, we have weather anomalies. So, like, I don't know if anyone knows, but when there are high pollutants that go into the air, we know about the hydraulic cycle.
Right.
And it goes into the atmosphere, causing the atmosphere to do other things.
Right.
So when you have these areas of high pollutants, and then it's getting mixed up into the hydraulic cycle, we're having weather systems especially hit these areas of high pollution.
Okay, so
that's my hypothesis. That's just me.
Okay, so possible correlation that fracking is also a contributor to the weather anomalies that we're having.
Possibly.
Now, what I do know is that a lot of the oil reserves and a lot of the mining that happens in the United States happens in Alaska. When you were speaking, this is going on in other areas.
This is
in the United States,
like Dallas, for example.
So is it more remote, or is it like right in our face and we're not paying
attention? I think
attention?
it's in our face and we're not paying attention because we don't know what's going. Why are all these diesel trucks going down my street every day? Some people might be thinking.
Right, because a lot of people are having some issues with some trucks going down the highways or whatever for a while there. And interesting enough that you would say that they're doing that, which it can't be something that we're ignorant to, because this is something that we've all been wanting to occur, to stop going overseas and trying to get oil from there and utilize what we have here. At the same time, it can only make sense because in order to feed the insatiable need of society, and all of the electricity and the vehicles and everything that we use that require fossil fuels, this would probably be a necessity, almost a last resort, prior to there being none at all.
So another thing is we know that we as the Earth have a magnetic field that protects us.
Right.
So anytime there are any solar flares and we see the aurora borealis, or aka the northern lights, that's an example of how our magnetic field is
Being disturbed
Right.
or defending the planet itself.
Right.
Right.
Our magnetic field is becoming weaker.
Okay.
I don't know, you guys can probably do the research, but the northern lights will be seen further south this year.
Oh, is that right? Is that right?
Yes, because I think personally, because our magnetic field has gotten weaker. Now, here's my other hypothesis.
Okay.
These oil deposits somehow may interact with the lava flow
Okay.
when we're dealing with plate tectonics.
Okay.
So when you go and disturb those oil deposits, you're throwing off what needs to feed that lava that's coming through to circulate inside of the core.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So when we turn around and we're overly mining, then we're causing disturbances. It's just like
Down below, and it's creating another issue in itself that is disturbing the magma reservoirs that are being held under volcanoes, which essentially what you're saying to me is that it could be possibly causing some type of an overflow that can create more volcanic activity in other places, thereby creating more volcanoes than we actually have now, because you're disrupting that
the cycle.
Right.
We'll call it the magma cycle.
Okay. Okay.
So, you know, I think that if somehow we're able to wean ourselves off of using as much petroleum, it'll have an adverse effect as well on our weather.
Okay.
Because the way that the weather is going right now, we're seeing Hurricane Sandy, we're seeing Hurricane Ike, and this is just in our lifetime. In our lifetime, we've seen more issues of records being broke than ever before, especially between 2014 and 2015. So, you know, I think that if we may be able to reduce the petroleum, which may be hard because petroleum is everywhere.
In everything.
In everything.
Everything.
Packaging.
Everything.
Clothes.
Everything.
Petroleum jelly for those of you who might need it for extracurricular activities.
Everything.
You know, some people use it to grease up their legs. I mean, extracurricular, you might need, you know, that Vaseline to grease your leg. Are y'all being dirty out there in YouTubeville?
Everything.
It was like petroleum jelly.
Everything.
Just takes a fingerful.
Everything.
But it's everywhere.
But it is. It's in everything, and it has many uses. Dealing with our environment as a whole is going to create a lot of push and pull, because first you have the appetites of Americans, and we're accustomed to choices. We're accustomed to being able to have this, that, and the third. If you start taking things out of the equation, then people feel I'm not getting what I need, and the reality is that you never needed it at all. It was just a want. And just because technology is awesome and it advances us doesn't mean there are inventions that are also harmful.
Speaking of inventions,
Go ahead.
okay, this is my big question to all of you watching. Why is it that we can transport chickens in commerce from one state to the next, and we can't take floodwaters from one state and transport it to California because they're having a drought? Why don't we have some sort of machine?
Oh, that's because of infrastructure.
Oh.
Nobody's going to pay for more infrastructure. And when you think about this, this is how infrastructure works, right?
But I'm just
it's not
saying.
until the weather destroys the whole United States and we're all sitting around saying, we will rebuild, that something different happens.
But it makes sense to me. You can turn around, you can transport chickens from Arizona to Florida, but you can't take flood waters from Dallas to California.
Even Rome had the aqueducts. But I'm just saying, dig it. Yo, not until we're like, we will rebuild. We gotta wait for everything to be destroyed.
I'm not gonna stay nowhere that's gonna be destroyed and have to rebuild. If it's destroyed, I'm leaving.
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. That's what we said.
Oh.
But what they said is, you know, hey, then maybe we'll just cut that part of California off. Everybody will move up north, and you know, they'll continue to try to solve problems easily and as they occur.
The land is sinking. The more water that is pulled out, the land is sinking, literally. Okay, so weather. One of the things that we see a lot of African countries, for example, who may have been agriculture is their #1 commerce.
Right.
So what happens is we go through these stages where there are droughts.
Mm-hmm.
These specific countries, they no longer have that #1 commodity, so they have to move.
Right.
In moving, possible war can come from Southerners moving north.
Right.
It's still going on. We may not see it here,
Right.
because we're United States.
So it's more than just the drought. It creates so much more
Right.
conflict.
It can create war.
Right. It creates so much more conflict. Well, it's a domino effect, right? You have an issue like fracking. You're saying, okay, we need the oil. The fracking creates problems with weather systems, creates problems with the atmosphere, which then creates problems in the environment, which then translates to problems with the ecosystem and the people living in that environment. Like you were saying, that these carcinogens and things that are being released during the fracking process is having tremendous effects on pregnant women and
Rolling
bringing
Stone
forth,
magazine, please check that one out.
and bringing forth birth defects and so on and so forth. So what happens? Human beings have instinct to survive. So it's all about self-preservation. So then, like you said, we go from one area to the next. Maybe the people in the next area don't want you over here.
Apocalypto.
And so right.
That's apocalypto.
It was. They came and they was like, you know, we're gonna kill everybody.
Yep.
So those types of conflicts can occur, and they can occur on such a massive scale that it can create almost like a panicky situation everywhere that becomes out of control, and everybody's like screaming, oh, martial law. And please know that these are hypotheses based on the information that we're gathering from, she said, Rolling Stone magazine, the Weather Channel, so on and so forth. So, but in order to be able to think outside the box and to be able to look at something at a 360-degree angle and see the big picture of what's going on. One thing can affect another thing, can affect another thing, can affect another thing, and eventually lead to the crumbling of a system itself.
Because cells
Or the breakdown of a system.
Tissues make organs, organs make systems, systems make the organism.
Right.
You mess with that cell,
And that's it.
it just takes
There's a defect in the system.
one cancer cell.
And it'll be a defect in the whole system and it'll crash.
That's all. So it's I think that, when we're looking at weather, we have to be very mindful. Well, another thing.
Global warming and Arizona has been peculiar.
I'm still trying to figure. Now, I know everybody that's in a severe weather area, okay, you might call that home, but if your home has been destroyed, it might be a good time to no longer rebuild there because it's highly possible. Actually, Jersey, as a matter of fact, because Jersey, they're still recuperating from Hurricane Sandy,
right?
And they just had severe weather as well.
Well, all that coastal area is doomed. Coastal areas where that ocean has the ability to come onto land, that's already an issue in itself. I mean, as beautiful as it is to live by the beach, it may not be the best idea. And like you're saying, if there's a severe weather, I mean, this weather has been crazy, and I don't think that it's going to stop. I think it's that it's going to continue, and it's going to keep going until we have cells big enough to cause collateral damage to the human race itself.
We're talking huge, never seen before tornadoes. The Fujita scale only goes to an EF5.
If it's beyond that, I got to go. It better not come here. Ain't nothing coming to Arizona. I ain't
nothing
worried
coming
about
to
it.
Arizona. We good. We hot.
It's so hot out here.
It's so hot.
Weather scared to come.
Arizona. No, not the Phoenix metropolitan area. They got dig for their water.
Wasn't scared to come here. Ain't nothing coming here. Ain't nothing coming here. So it was pretty dry.
But I tell you what it is.
But it has been pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, considering some of the brutal issues in the weather we've dealt with in past years, this year has been.
Coolest.
I almost felt like, you know what? I could live here for the rest of my life. What?
You said that?
I said that.
No. Because the past
I told
years,
you. I always be like, I'm ready to go. But I mean, if I only got to deal with 2 weeks of 110, I could do this. Come on.
For real?
For real.
Oh, y'all.
2 weeks.
Arizona turning around. If she want to stay.
You talking San Diego? Well, what?
Okay. My bad.
I'm just saying. But
weather got us acting crazy.
I know.
That's too much.
We doing too much. It's intense sunshine. Yeah. It does it.
Hey,
fried brain.
Come on out.
Come on to Arizona. You'll be safe here.
You'll be safe. You might be hot.
You'll be safe here.
But there's AC.
There's AC. We got it. You're going to be a little hot in the summertime.
And guess what? If there's no AC, go stand under a shade tree. And
guess what? Don't worry about nothing, because when it come down to hurricanes and tornadoes, it ain't nothing but a little rain by the time it get here. Because the Arizona sun out here in the valley of the sun, we gonna fry that hurricane up before it can do any damage. What you gonna get is little flood.
Valley of the sun.
So you gonna get. That's all you gonna get. We gonna fry whatever hurricane, tornado, don't even try.
Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, I just seen an ad for a solar oven.
Did you? A solar oven?
A solar oven. So where you put your meat on, you slide your food in, and it cooks with solar energy.
That's what's up. So let me tell you what. Us here on Dealing with the Issues, we send out all our love and all our prayers to those of you out there who are dealing with some severe weather things going on. We don't know what our government is hiding.
Turn around, don't drown.
We don't know if the government's hiding anything or if they're not. We have no clue. But what we do know is that one thing good for our society is to keep people from panicking. follow your gut, follow your heart. If it says go, please do. Be careful out there. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. Dealing with the issues, prayers are with everyone who's been dealing with this odd weather this year. Thank you so much for watching. Visit us at www.dealingwiththeissues.com and have a great day.
Thank you.
This has been a Dealing with the Issues production. Thank you so much for watching. Dealing with the Issues would like to thank Rolling Stones Magazine, the Weather Channel, and Google, which were used to gather information regarding the facts and hypotheses talked about in this webisode.